Dust My Broom. Elmore James, Robert Johnson, a little conflict out there as to who actually wrote the tune, but regardless, it's a very cool blues tune, one that's great for slide work. I'm Red. I'm here today courtesy of TrueFire, bringing you an in-depth look at this song. Now, I've done this lesson in the key of D, and I've chosen to do a slide version. It's a shuffle, and as far as what I'm playing on the slide, I'm outlining chords. Now I'm going to roll the track, demonstrate some rhythm, and then I'll roll the track again and demonstrate some lead, and I'll talk about each in between. I'm going to clean my tone up a little bit for the rhythm. Alright, here goes some rhythm. Now I am in standard tuning. Okay. Now, I started off with a traditional shuffle rhythm with the walking, what is that, 5 to 6. This is probably the most standard traditional rhythm that you could use for this. You also noticed I used some major chords and some ninth chords on the second time through the progression. This was just to demonstrate that you're not locked in to just one particular thing. You can use ninth chords, you can use major chords with that hammered third, which is, a great technique to develop. And all I'm doing there is I'm just barring, if this is for an A chord, I'm barring across the 5th fret, first 4 strings, strum, and then hammer onto the 3rd string at the 6th fret, which goes from minor third to a natural third. A very cool technique, easy to do, something I would highly recommend if you want to get into the blues, learn that move. The ninth chords and the major chords are an alternative. If you're at a jam session, one guy is already doing the traditional rhythm, it gives you a few other options to be able to use. 3-chord song, D, G, and A, pretty basic. Okay, now for the lead. Certainly you could do without a slide, you could do minor pentatonics, major pentatonics, and I've got plenty of videos out there demonstrating that. On this video, I'm going to focus on the slide. Again, I am in standard tuning. Using open tunings is very cool, especially in a song like this where you're in the key of D. You can drop down to an open D tuning, and that gives you some useful resources, that low D note, as well as having yourself already tuned to a chord. But again, I'm focusing on standard tuning. You're in the middle of a set playing some songs, standard tuning, all of a sudden this one's thrown at you. You know, unless you've got a guitar handy that's pre-tuned, you don't want to have to retune to an open tuning and then next song have to tune back to standard tuning. It gets to be a little tedious. So So again, I'm focusing on standard tuning. Let's roll the track. I'm going to demonstrate just a couple of simple licks, and then I'll talk about it a little bit. Now again in D, so I'm going to outline D chords. I'm going to look for D chords right here. There's a D chord. Now we've got a G chord. There's your D chord. Up to an A, to a G. So that shows you where the three chords are. So now let's just look at what I was doing there. I've found this D chord right here. Those three notes, second, third, and fourth string across the 7th fret. That creates a D chord. Now, a D chord is also, there's the D note, but there's this D chord here that I'm also using. But I'm just using the first two notes, the first two strings. And then I'm coming down here. The notes that I'm using are basically, and again, I'm sliding to these notes. But here's the notes. On the E string, at the 10th fret, B string, 10th fret, B string at 7th fret, G string, 7th fret, and the D string at the 7th fret. Okay, but there's also those notes. What did I do right there? I'm in G now. So I've got D right there, but go up a half step, and I'm in G. So I'm looking for common chord tones within the same area. But more than looking for chord tones, what I'm really doing is I'm creating a melody. I feel the melody. I hear the melody in my head. I feel the intervals. So I don't have to, like I showed you earlier, D, G, and A, but I don't have to go all the way up there to get a G. I can play down here. See? So I'm finding notes in that same area that work for the G. And again, it's more about a melody than it is about searching for notes that match the chords. The melody matches the chords. So as long as the melody I'm improvising matches the chords, then I don't have to worry about finding the notes because they're already there. It may sound a little confusing, but that's the way I see it. And again, I try to say this as often as I can now. Don't look for each note. Rather, look for a phrase. Create a phrase. Think in phrases. This really makes it a lot easier. To follow the chords, again, I showed you those three things, but there's so many other places where you can do it. There's now I'm playing the C. D. An E. G. A. So you get the idea. You know where those areas are, and you can build your melody around those chords and find the chord tones that relate to the other chords within that same area. I hope that this helps you to be able to get a look and an understanding of the song and some some very basic slide technique I've given you here, and hopefully it'll help you to put another song in your repertoire. I will see you again soon with another song. And by the way, if you like these videos, I have a whole pile of them in my classroom, my online classroom at TrueFire. That's TrueFire.com, and then there's links on their page that bring you to the online classrooms, along with a whole bunch of songs, charts for these songs, chord charts, lead sheets, plus interaction with me. To if you're trying to learn one of the songs, you hit a stumbling block, you just shoot me a video, show me where you're having a problem. I shoot you a video back and show you how to overcome that problem. The online classrooms at TrueFire are really an awesome thing. Not for everybody, but if it sounds like it might be something for you, check it out.